Good evening, students. We are starting the first biology class for this season. Madam Manimala was working, and again, even now, she's working as a biology teacher for the 11th and 12th. She's a principal in a school in Coimbatore. She has got a wide experience, so I'm sure that we will have a wonderful time in interacting with students. And we have two batches, as some of you know. The 11th standard batch is separate, and the 12th standard
Okay.
people, that is 2000 Neet 2027 is a separate batch. Neet 2026 another separate batch. But sometimes the Neet 2026 people may come and sit in Neet 2027 class also. That is always they are welcome. So that any doubt you have, you can interrupt madam and then ask, maybe inside the class or at the end of the class. So that is when, and whatever you have doubt, if don't carry forward your doubts, every day and every week. This is the problem with many of us. Many students have difficulty in clarifying their doubts, and this is one best place to do it. Secondly, you can raise your doubts in the WhatsApp group. Not only madam, some other student will explain. Some other student will explain or will give the clarification. The whole WhatsApp group has to interact 24 by 7. That is the idea of that WhatsApp group. It will happen because every year it has happened, but it is the beginning. So either I will put one question, or madam will put one question, or you students will put one question. Somebody will answer. It may be correct, it may be wrong, but then this interaction will keep on. It will keep going on. So that will make the whole learning as 24 by 7, 365 days. Now you can make, and our 8th standard batch is very, very active. We are doing something for 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard. So those batches are very active. When they come 11th, 12th, they are getting slowed down. Not because of your age, but because you have got huge syllabus to cover in the 11th and 12th. It is 6 times more difficult than what you have studied in 10th. This you have to keep in your mind. In addition to that, this NEET and JE, this NEET is, it is very tricky. It's a objective type exam. They will cleverly make the question such a way that you will make a mistake. The idea of that examiner is to make you fail. That is his objective, not to make you pass. In a board exam, they will set the question paper so that you will pass the exam. But here, they want you to fail. In such a way, they will frame the questions. So you have to be clever enough to get out of the trap and then score much higher marks. Okay. So with this small introduction, in fact, some of our students in the past, they've joined CMC Vellore, and they've joined ESI Hospital in Coimbatore. They have joined Karpagam Medical University in Coimbatore, and
Oh,
one girl joined in Jipmer in Pondicherry.
oh,
These are some of
super, sir.
the results which we have, and then one boy joined in Pune Defense, Medical College. In Pune, one
Okay.
there he joined there. They're all good. They have got benefited through our classes. I'm sure you will also get benefited through this class.
Yes.
Okay, madam, some of them may not be able to understand Tamil, so to the extent possible, you can continue in English. Some one or two students will
Yes,
be
sir.
there from Kerala or from Maharashtra, like that. One or two.
Sure,
We may
sure.
not be able to find out also from the Google ID. So just I'm
No,
giving
no
you.
problem. I'll go with only English, sir. No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. Okay. Thank you, madam. Go ahead, madam.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you. Good evening, children. Good evening. Please respond.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes. Okay.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. Yes, children. I think Sarah has told. So you all are from the 10th to you came to the 11th standard. Yes. Okay. So here, so first I'll go somewhat what is important in biology, what you have learned in the last year. Based on the topic, I'll go with the explanation of I'll continue with the 11th syllabus. Okay, children. Then we will go with the 12th, like that. Okay. So your biology, okay, biology means okay. So study of what is that? Living organisms, okay, either a plant and animals. So about that we are going to study in the biology, okay. So in biology, in the grade 10th point of view, you have studied about the life process, right? So in the life process, you have what are the process which is help us to maintain the life on the earth. Okay, so what are the process which is help us to maintain the life on the earth, which is called as a life process. So we have a main four life process we have. So one is nutrition, the second one is respiration, the third one is transportation, the fourth one is excretion. Okay, you have learned in the grade 10th. Okay, and in the grade 9th also you have learned a fundamental units of life. Okay, so in this life process, among the four, so very important to lead our life. But when we discuss about the reproduction, many of the students have a confusion. The reproduction is comes under the life process, but actually the reproduction is not comes under the life process. The reproduction is important in our life for what? To continue the species. To continue the species, we need a reproduction. Other than that, the life process only the four. Okay, it is help to maintain our life on the earth. Okay, so during the nutrition, we will uptake of food. Okay, we will uptake of food. So the followed by uptake of food. Okay, that process nutrition. So with help of the oxygen, the food gets breakdown. Once we eat, our food get breakdown with help of oxygen. This process is called as what is that? Respiration. Once the respiration completed, the food is breakdown and it is release the energy. With help of oxygen, the food breakdown and release the energy. That energy is utilized by all the body parts. Okay, all the body parts. So it is carried from where it is synthesized, from there to, that is especially from stomach it is synthesized. Okay, from there to it is carried to all the part of the body. So that is comes under the what is that? Transportation. Okay, and the next thing is excretion. Okay, in excretion, if we discuss the excretion, we every day we are growing. Okay, day by day we are growing and we are developing. So what it will happen? Our body will generate lot of waste. Our body will generate lot of waste, and these waste will be excrete. That is release out of our body. This process is called as what is that? Excretion. So about this you have studied in the where? In the grade 10th in the first lesson. So this is one of the basic in our biology point of view. Okay. The same way in plant also, what is that? We have a nutrition. In plant, if you see a nutrition, we have a different types of nutrition. Actually, as animals, we are comes under the heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, but when a plant it comes, the plant which is comes under the what is that? Autotrophic nutrition. Plant which is comes under the autotrophic nutrition. Here, auto means self. What is that? Auto means self. Nutrition means nourishment. Self nourishment. With help of a self nourishment, the organism can able to what is that? Synthesize. So we all know the basic one in plant with help of the process called as photosynthesis. Okay, with help of the photosynthesis process, photo means light, synthesize means to combine. Photo means light, synthesize means to combine. Okay, so with help of the light, water, with help of chlorophyll pigment, the plant can able to what is that? Make their own food. So this process is called as what is that? Autotrophic nutrition. It takes place in the plant. Okay, so animals heterotrophic nutrition. We are directly, indirectly, we are depend for a food for the animals. So we are depend directly for what is that? Plants. We are as animals, we are directly, indirectly, we depends the food for the what is that? Plants. So we are comes under the heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, plants are can able to synthesize the own food. Then it is called as what is that? Autotrophic nutrition. Apart from that, we have saprotrophic nutrition also. Saprotrophic nutrition means nothing but some of the microorganisms. Okay, some of the microorganism like a bacteria, fungi at all, how it will fulfill the nutrition now, which is break down the large complex substance into smaller one and takes in the form of what is that? Liquid. Takes in the form of liquid. So this is called as what is that? Saprotrophic nutrition. Saprotrophic nutrition now, the nutrition by which the animals feed the what is that? Dead and decomposed matter. The animal which feed the dead and decomposed matter in the form of liquid. Okay, which is called as saprotrophic nutrition. So these things we have learned in the grade 10th, it is the main topic. And when the plant animal respiration, when we discuss, we know as a human being, we are respiring with the help of the organ is called as what is that? We have a lungs. With the help of lungs we are respiring. But when it comes the plant, how the plant will respire? If you see, the plant do not have any specific organs, do not have any specific organs. So the plant will respire with the help of what is that? Root. With the help of root cell it will respire. Stomata. Okay, the gaseous exchanges in plant, it takes place with the help of the stomata. You all know stomata means, it is a very important terminology in biology. The stomata, it is a minute pore which is present in the lower side of the leaf. Okay, which is present in the lower side of the leaf. It is generally kidney shaped cell. Okay, so we know daytime stomata remain open. At night, stomata will be closed. Okay, so plant will takes the respiration with help of the stomata. Okay, and also we have a bark also. Plant lavanda we have stomata will do respiration, and also lenticels. Lenticels, please make a note of it. The lenticels which is present in the bark of the tree. Lenticels are present in the where? A bark of the tree. With help of the bark of the tree, what happened? The lenticel will do the respiration. Root cells, bark of the tree, that is a stem part, will do the respiration with help of lenticels, and leaf part will do the respiration with help of the stomata. But as a human being, we are using only the organ is lungs. Okay, and also for respiration purpose, as a human being, we need a hemoglobin as a pigment. We need a hemoglobin as a pigment. Okay, with help of the hemo means, okay, so iron. Globin means non-protein part. Okay, with help of the hemoglobin only, the oxygen will have more affinity. Okay, we are, when we are inhaling oxygen, okay, the oxygen will have more affinity with what is that? The hemoglobin. So that is the reason the hemoglobin will absorb the more oxygen, and it will pass to all the part of the body with help of the lungs. Okay, so this is the respiration in our body, and this is the respiration in the what is that? In a plants. Okay, and if you see in the same respiration point of view, we are a complex organism. We have a special organ. Plant are complex organism, even though they are made up of dead cells. Okay, so why there is no specific organ or anything? Now plants are made up of mostly dead cells. Okay, so they don't want much oxygen in that, so they use stomata, lenticels, root cells for the respiration. Okay, and when we are discussing some of the animals, even animals also have multicellular organisms have a respiration. Okay, do with help of lungs. But unicellular organism, the cell surface, for example amoeba and all, the cell surface, with help of the cell surface only it will respire. With help of the cell surface, the amoeba will be respire, because the entire body is directly contact with the atmosphere. Okay, even though single cellular organism, the entire body is directly contact with the atmosphere, and it takes the what is that? Oxygen. So this is about what? The respiration in the animals. So the nutrition we know, we are heterotrophic nutrition, and animals are comes under the autotrophic. Sorry, animals are comes under the heterotrophic nutrition. The plants are comes under the what is that? Autotrophic nutrition. When we are respiration, when we discuss, these are the thing. And the next one, when we are discussing the transportation, so transportation, it is an important process in our body. The substance where it is synthesized, okay, from there it will move to another place, or a substance which is moved from one place to another place, which is called as what is that? Transportation. Okay, as a human being, for transportation purpose, we have what is that? Two main component. One is the blood, and another one is the plasma. So when our body, when we discuss the plasma, okay, blood cells, that is a plasma. These two are main component involved in the transportation. Plasma, when you see, it is a nearly made up of 55 percentage of what is that? 55 percentage in our body it is present. Plasma in our body which is present only 55 percentage. Remaining 45 percentage, what is that? Our blood cells only. The blood cells are suspended over the plasma. Suspended over the plasma. So we have a three blood cells. One is RBC, WBC, and another one is platelets. Okay, so these things you have studied the last year. So just I'm giving a basic and I'll come to the lesson. Okay, so the RBC you all know erythrocytes, WBC you know leukocytes. Okay, platelets you know thrombocytes. So these are the another name format. Okay, so all these blood cells are produced from the bone marrow in our body. Okay, and when we see the how this transportation it takes place in our body means with help of the organ that is called heart. Okay, heart is a what is that? A muscular organ. Heart is a muscular organ. Our body, the circulatory system was who have explained Abdina? William Harvey. The scientist name is William Harvey. Is the first person explained the circulatory system in our body. Circulatory system in our body. Okay, and so we are using heart. With help of the heart, we are pumping the blood. Okay, all the part of the body, and we are doing it. But when it comes the transportation in plants, the transportation plants, when we discuss, we have a vascular tissues. That is a conductive tissues or vascular tissues we have present in our body. So it is nothing but the conductive tissues are xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem. Okay. So the xylem which conduct always water and minerals from root to tip of the leaf. Root to tip of the leaf. The phloem which always conduct the food from leaf to other parts. Okay, leave to all other parts. Okay, all other parts it will conduct. Okay, so this is what conduction of what is that takes place, the transportation which is takes place in the plants. Okay, xylem and phloem are the elements which is important for the transportation in the plants. Okay, so this is what you have studied in the transportation in the grade 10. Okay, and you have when you coming to the excretion. So the excretion it is differ. Okay, the organism to organism the excretion will be vary. For example, we have a structural functional unit in our excretory system is what is that? Nephron. Nephron is the structural and functional unit of the excretory system. Okay, and every organisms the excretion will be vary. For example, as a human beings, we are releasing what is that? Urine. So the urine consists of more amount of urea. The urine consists of more amount of urea. So we are comes under the urotelic animals. As a human being, we are comes under the urotelic animals. Okay, and if you see some other animals like aquatic animals, if you take aquatic animals, the aquatic animals, the excretion that is the urine consists of what is that? Ammonia. Ammonia which is present in the aquatic animals. So the aquatic animals are comes under the ammoniotic animals. Okay, so when you see birds, the birds urine consists of more amount of uric acid. Okay, so this is comes under the uricotelic animals. Urotelic animals are human. Uricotelic animals are birds, and ammoniotic animals are aquatic animals. So these are the three variety of animals based on the excretion was divided. Okay, and the next thing in human the excretory organ is kidney. Okay, so when we discuss about kidney, we have a pair of kidney. Okay, so both kidney is not symmetrically placed. Okay, we have one kidney below our stomach, just below, and one kidney is just above. Okay, so the reason why the right kidney is just below na, the right side we have what is that? A liver, the largest gland in our body. We have a largest gland. You have studied, I think, in the digestive system. It will secrete a bile juice. Okay, for fat emulsification, it will support. So the largest gland which is present in our right side of the body parts. That is the reason our right kidney is just below and our left kidney is just above in our body. Asymmetry, we can say asymmetry. Okay, and so when we discuss about a kidney, pair of kidney we have, pair of ureter we have. Okay, so the ureter is the part which carry the urine from kidney to bladder. Okay, and we have the next part is bladder. It is a muscular part in our body. Which part is connected with our nervous system? Which part is connected now? That is a urinary bladder only. So urinary bladder is connected with our nervous system. That is the reason when you feel urge. Okay, when you feel urge, we can go with what is that? We are feeling to go restroom under. Okay, so this is what about what excretory you have studied, and also we have learned. I think okay. Nowadays we know the day by day the kidney failure cases are increasing. Yes, the reason. What is that? Any injuries, any infections, or any some reasons accident. Because of that, the kidney is getting damaged. Okay, so in such case, we can't use our natural kidney. Okay, we can't use our natural kidney. So in such case, we are using what is that? Artificial kidney. Okay, so which is called as hemodialysis. You can call it as hemodialysis. Okay, so based on the kidney infection, okay, the person based on the kidney infection level, based on that, the doctors will advise to what is that? Either a 1 week or a 15 days, like that, they will give a suggestion to the patient. Okay, wow. So this is what about the what is that about the kidney. If natural kidney is not function, we can go with what is that hemodialysis with help of the medical. Okay, medical history. And the next thing when we're discussing same the excretion in a plant, when we are discussing, we have a three types of waste will be generated in a plants. Okay, so what are the three types of waste it is generated now? One is solid waste, liquid waste, and gaseous waste. So we all know what is solid waste. Okay, so example, the fallen leaf is comes under the solid waste. The fallen leaves are there, no, which is comes under the solid waste. Okay, so and next one is what is the other solid waste? If you discuss in plant, we are getting so many extracts like tannin, rubber, latex. Okay, so like so many things, resins, gums. So these all are getting from plants. Actually, it is a waste of plant, but we are utilizing for different purpose in our life. Okay, it is useful for us. Okay, so these are comes under the solid waste. When we discussing about the liquid waste, we have what is that? A transpiration. By the process of transpiration, the plant removal of what is that? Water waste. The plant release the water waste in the form of what is that? Water vapor. Okay, removal of excess water from the aerial part of the plant. Excess water from the aerial part of the plant, which is called as what is that? A liquid waste. By the process of transpiration, we are releasing out. Okay, and when we are discussing about gaseous waste, the gaseous waste is during the photosynthesis. During the photosynthesis, plant will release the what is that? Oxygen. Okay, so the oxygen is waste for the plants. Oxygen is waste for the plants, but we are using for surviving. Okay, but plant, when we discussing about plant, the oxygen is waste for the plants. Okay, and the next one is a carbon dioxide. Okay, so the carbon dioxide during the respiration, during the plant respiration, plant will release the what is that? A carbon dioxide. Plant will release the carbon dioxide, but one thing, the carbon dioxide will be not get released. Plant will utilize it. Plant will utilize for the photosynthesis. But during the night time, when we are discussing, okay, during the night time, when we are asking, there is a no photosynthesis takes place. So the lot of carbon dioxide will be released out. That is the reason our ancestors used to say, our grandpa and grandma used to say, don't sleep under the tree. Because the reason is what is that? The gas will be released during the night. So this is the entire life process you have learned in the grade 10. Am I right, children? Is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. So the next thing, the next lesson you have discussed about control and coordination. Here, the control and coordination, our body needs to coordinate with the each and every organ. Each and every organ needs to be coordinated. Okay, so how this coordination will be takes place with the help of what is that? Our brain. Okay, especially our nervous system. Okay, so when we discuss about the nervous system, it is the first topic which is made up of three parts. Okay, it's very expected questions. Okay, made up of three parts. Okay, actually you have studied all this topic. Very less concept wise you have learned in the 10th, but even though you have the same lessons for your grade 11 and 12 also, it will continue. Okay, we have all these lessons in our 11th and 12th classes also. Okay, elaborately you will study when it comes to the 11th and 12th. Okay, so when the portions comes, I will go with elaborate, but now a short note I will give about that each topic and I will go to the next. Okay, so nervous system, the structural and functional unit of nervous system is neuron. What is the structural and functional unit of excretory system?
Nephron.
What is nephron? Very good. Nephron is the structural functional unit of the excretory system. When we discuss about a nervous system, a structural functional unit of nervous system is what is that? Neuron. Don't get confused here. Okay, and so here neuron, when we are discussing neuron, which is made up of three parts. Okay, one is cell body. Okay, another one is dendrites, and another one is axon. Okay, so the dendrites, when we are discussing, okay, this is a branched part. Okay, the branched part from the cell body. Okay, it received the external stimulus. Okay, it received the external stimulus in the form of nerve impulses. Later, it will carry in the form of electrical impulses. And cell body, it will conduct the, what is that? Nerve impulse. And axon, when we discuss the from the cell body, a branched part is dendrites. From the cell body, long elongated part is called as what is that? Axon. Okay, the tip of the axon, we have a axonal end. We have a axonal end. So this axonal end, okay, each axonal end we have a synaptic knobs. We have what is that? A synaptic knobs. Okay, so this synaptic knobs, when the nerve impulses reach, it will release the, what is that? Some of the chemicals. Make a note of it. The chemical is neurotransmitter. Okay, in a nerve end, it will release the chemicals. The chemical is called as what is that? Neurotransmitter. We can call it as that neurotransmitter name is acetylcholine. Okay, so then once the nerve impulses reach the synaptic knob, from the synaptic knob, the nerve impulses which is moved to the, what is that? Dendrites of the another neuron. Dendrites of the another neuron. Always the nerve impulses which is carry in unidirectional only. Okay, so it will go then dendrites of the another neuron, or it will reach our muscles or our glands. Muscles are our glands. Understood? Okay, so the process by which the nerve impulses which is transmit from one nerve cell to dendrites of the another neuron or nerve cell or neuron, both similar only. This is called as synapsis. Okay, if it is both between the two nerves, two dendrites, if it is transmit, it is called as synapsis. If it is transmit from one nerve ending to another muscle, which is called as neuromuscular junction. Okay, neuromuscular junction. So this is about the what is that? Neuron. And the next thing about the reflex action. Okay, so reflex action is a sudden, automatic, involuntary action. It takes place without our consciousness. What is that? Sudden, automatic, what is that? Involuntary action which is takes place without our consciousness is called as, what is that? Reflex action. The reflex action which is takes place in our body with help of, what is that? Spinal cord. So we can also call it as spinal reflexes. We can also call it as, what is that? Spinal reflexes. Okay, and then, so why, ma'am, the spinal cord only involving for reflex action? Why our brain which is not involved in our reflex action? Anybody answer? Any answer? Yes. Okay, I'll tell you. Actually, our brain, it is made up of thinking tissue. Okay, our brain is made up of thinking tissue. Okay, so reflex action, it is a sudden, automatic. Okay, so immediate actions, right? So if it is brain, if it is involved, okay, it takes some time to think and respond it. Okay, if any information is go, the brain will think and interpret the messages. Later only it will give a response. Okay, so brain is made up of thinking tissue. It takes some time to think and respond. That is the reason the immediate actions and all, which is controlled only by our spinal cord, not by our brain. Okay, so this is the answer for this. Okay, and the reflex arc also we have. Okay, what is the reflex arc now? During the reflex action, the information carry the pathway of reflex action, which is called as reflex arc. I'll give you an example. When you touch a hot object, Okay, when you touch an hot object, okay, we have a different receptors in our body. I'm not going with much briefly, but I'm telling that information. We have a different receptors in our body. For example, we have a photoreceptors. We could able to see some things now, that is reason of photoreceptor. We could able to hear something now, that is the reason of what is that, phonoreceptor. Okay, we can smell something. We can smell something now, that is reason of olfactory receptor. We can taste something now, that is with help of the gustatory receptor, which is present in our tongue. Gustatory, which is present in our tongue. At the same time, by our hands, which is present, what is that, thermoreceptor or heat receptor, which is present. Nothing, receptor na group of cell which is present in our body. To explain the reflex action, just I gave a word about receptor. So what will happen when you touch a hot object? First, the stimulus which reach to our receptor. What receptor which is present in our skin na? Thermoreceptor. Thermoreceptor will receive the stimulus. Later, the receptor will carry the messages to our sensory neuron. Okay, sensory neuron. From the sensory neuron, the information which is goes to our spinal cord. In spinal cord, we have a relay neuron. In spinal cord, we have a relay neuron. So the what the relay neuron it will do, it will all the messages will interpret it and it will pass to the motor neuron. Then the motor neuron which carry the messages to where? Our hands. It will bring to our hands. Then only what we will do? Suddenly we will remove our hands from the hot object. So this is the way when the stimulus reach in our body, we will take. Okay. What is sensory neuron? Na? The information from receptors to sensory. The spinal cord, if it is take messages, na, is called as sensory. Motor neuron na, from spinal cord to, it will bring the messages to our receptors, which is called as motor neuron. This is the way the reflex action it takes place. Okay. So I told what is reflex arc. Now what is the pathway of reflex action when we touch a hot object? When we touch a hot object, what is the pathway? What is the pathway, the nerve impulses which is transferred? First, thermoreceptor in our hand, thermoreceptor to sensory neuron to spinal cord to what is that? Motor neuron to where it will come? Again our receptor. This pathway is called as what is that? Reflex arc, which is called as what? Reflex arc. Any doubt, children? Okay, so this is the lesson you have learned in the where? In the grade 10th control and coordination. Along with that,
Questions on whatever you have spoken. Just put
okay, okay, sir, okay.
or you can
I'm
show
not
some.
getting it, and that's why I'm moving next.
No, no. You just ask some questions. Some they will know some interaction will help them. Being the first class, otherwise you can
Okay,
show
okay.
some material, but then first class you need not be, but you can interact with them.
Actually, I'm giving it is a 10th basic only, sir. I'm giving.
Yeah, that's it. There no need to display it because
11th
today's
point of
class.
view, I have prepared PPT. I have a PPT.
That is for next class you can do, but questions you can ask one or two like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Anybody,
that
can you tell me the reflex arc? Children, anybody, can you tell me what is reflex arc?
The pathway followed by reflex action is called reflex arc.
Very good, very good. Okay. Can you explain how when we touch a hot object, what will happen in our body? Can you explain? What receptor we have in our hand? What receptor we have in our hand, Amma?
Thermoreceptors.
Very good. Thermoreceptor. Then thermoreceptor, once it receives the stimulus, which is carried to
Spinal cord.
Spinal cord.
eye. Before spinal cord, which
Motor
area it will be?
neurons. Motor
Eye. Sensory neuron. Where it will go?
Sensory neuron.
Sensory neuron. Receptor to spinal cord, sensory neuron. Spinal cord to our body parts. What is that? Motor neuron.
motor neuron.
Okay. Sensory neuron. Then it will go to spinal cord. In spinal cord, what neuron we have? We have relay neuron. Relay neuron. In spinal cord, we have what is that? relay neuron. Okay. And then from that, what is that? Relay neuron, the information which reached to our muscles and gland. Then only what we will do? I will withdraw our hand, our if you see the skins become contract, some shrinks you could able to see. Okay, when we touch a hot object. Okay, so that is reason, what is that? We are removing the hand. Okay, so that is motor neuron will bring the information from spinal cord to our muscles and gland. Actually, if we see the nerve impulses which reach in every body parts, no. Okay, the nerve impulses which does not reach every body parts in our body. So for that purpose, we have, what is that? Hormones we have in our body. Where the nerve impulses cannot able to reach that region, our hormones will reach and it will do the functions. Got it? Yes, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And also one more we have, it is a long process because once the nerve impulses are generated in our body, again to reset, it takes some time. Okay, so it is one of the limitation of nerve impulses when in our body, using in our body. Okay, and the next one we are going with, what is that? Brain. Okay, brain, when we are discussing, okay, which is made up of 3 nervous system. One is central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, autonomous nervous system. Okay, central nervous system. Okay, central nervous system which is made up of brain and spinal cord. Okay, so the brain which is comes under the central nervous system, children. Please make a note of it. Okay, and spinal nerves and cranial nerves, which two comes under the, what is that? Our peripheral nervous system, PNS. And autonomous nervous system, in our body, lot of involuntary actions that takes place. For example, your heartbeat is involuntary action. Your lungs functioning is involuntary actions. So these functions are, we cannot control it, right? So these functions are comes under the autonomic nervous system. It control inside our body. Okay. And when we are discussing about brain, okay, so the brain, okay, which is protected by skull. Brain is protected by skull and also it is covered by cranium. What is the difference between skull and cranium? We used to say, right, when the brain is there, how the brain is protected, we used to say the word skull. But the brain is protected by a skull or cranium?
Skull.
Huh? See, the entire face total made up of 14 bones, right? The skull is made up of, what is that? 14 bones. This region is completely covered by skull. But we have a brain in this region only, right? So the brain is protected by skull and covered by cranium. cranium, cranium. Okay, children? Is it clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the brain which is comes under the peripheral nervous system or central nervous system? Brain which is comes under the peripheral nervous system or a central nervous system? CNS or PNS?
CNS.
Aye, central nervous system. Brain and spinal cord both are comes under the central nervous system. Peripheral nervous system, nerves, cranial nerves, and what is that? And spinal nerves. Actually, central nervous systems completely our brain and spinal cord. These two regions are connected by central nervous system. Okay, and peripheral nervous system, which carry the nerves, connect the brain to all the part of the body, to what is that? Our brain, which is connected. The nerves are connected with help of the PNS only. Total we have 12 spinal nerves and 31 cranial nerves we have in our body. Okay, so this is about brain. And when we go deep into the brain is covered by 3 membrane. Okay, together the 3 membrane is called as meninges. meninges, meninges. Okay, and also the brain placed, okay, inside the cerebrospinal fluid. The brain is placed inside the cerebrospinal fluid Okay, because of this fluid only, if any sudden jerk, if we met an accident, okay, many mechanical injury, if it is happened also, our brain will be protected. Na? That is because of the cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebrospinal fluid. Got it? Okay, children?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
And yeah, and when we discuss about brain, the brain is made up of 3 parts. Okay, CNS, central nervous system. Under the CNS, 2 parts will come. One is the brain, another one is spinal cord. Okay, the spinal cord, I told already, spinal cord we have in our neck region. This region only we have a spinal cord. Okay, so in spinal cord, reflex action will be takes place. That's enough. In a brain, the main functions are takes place in our brain only, right? In our brain, okay, made up of 3 parts. One is cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. Okay, or we can say has forebrain, hindbrain. Okay, forebrain, hind also we can say, hind also we can say, pronounce it, and midbrain. These 3 brain parts we have in our brain part. So forebrain, entire maximum part of our largest part of the brain is forebrain. Make a note of it. There is a question. Which is the largest part of the brain now? That is forebrain. In forebrain, we have a important part which is called as cerebrum. In cerebrum only, you could able to your memory, your intelligence, your reasoning. Okay, so all your IQ level, everything will be comes under the what is that? Your forebrain only. You got children. So how much IQ level you have? So how much your thinking level? Okay, your memory, everything which is stored in our cerebrum. Okay, that is in a forebrain. And the next one is cerebellum. Okay, cerebellum which is comes under the hindbrain. Okay, in cerebellum, when you are walking, when you are drinking water, when you are cycling, okay, you could able to get a posture in your body, right? When you drink something, we have to raise your neck. Okay, we are getting one posture. And when we are walking, our hands will go front and back. Okay, front and back it will go. These posture we are getting, that is because of what is that? Our cerebellum. Okay, children. Okay, the posture in our body with help of cerebellum. And the next one is midbrain. Midbrain, the main part which is help to visual reflexes. I think you'll be able to see small, large, the volume is high, low, like such thing you can able to differentiate, right? Yes, we can able to differentiate or not? Yes or no? If we see something, what you will say? Yes, it is a large one. Ma'am, it is a small one. Okay, it is when we see objects, okay, and visual reflexes, we can say the large and small. Okay, the noise is noise. If it is heavy noise or less, like so many things we are discussing. No, so these all comes under the visual reflexes. So this is controlled by our midbrain. And midbrain also control the involuntary action. Make a note of it. Midbrain control the involuntary action. Okay, the cerebellum, okay, which is maintain the posture in our body, that is control the voluntary action. What is a voluntary and involuntary action? Voluntary means, what is that? It is with our consciousness we are doing some work which is called as voluntary actions. Without our consciousness we are doing some work, then it is comes under what is that? Involuntary actions. So these all are controlled by our brain only. So midbrain, also medulla oblongata. These two are control the involuntary action in our body, and also cerebellum which control the what is that? A posture in our body. And cerebrum it represent for what? IQ, reasoning, and our memory, your intelligence, everything comes under the cerebrum. Am I clear, children? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So the next thing,
Which part of brain really takes responsibility of questioning, asking questions?
sir, I didn't get your voice. Why? What, sir?
Asking questions is from which part of the
Oh,
brain?
That is cerebrum, sir.
Cerebrum. Okay.
Our intelligence, our IQ level, our memory, everything which is comes under cerebrum. This is the part maximum will engage in our brain. Largest part of the brain.
Asking questions also come under that.
For when we are walking, it is comes under the cerebellum in our brain.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
And when we able to, I see through our eyes, we could able to differentiate something, no sir? That is comes under our midbrain.
Okay, this anger will come from?
Sir, anger actually it is comes under the hunger, salivation, salivation. These and all comes under the medulla only, sir. And hypothalamus also we have in our body.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Hypothalamus, sir.
Just
Actually, hypothalamus is master of pituitary gland.
Yeah.
For all functions of our body, which is controlled by hypothalamus. So the hunger, the temperature, body temperature in our body, which is controlled by our hypothalamus.
Yeah. Thank you, madam.
Hunger is controlled by our medulla oblongata, our salivation, vomiting, these all controlled by our medulla oblongata.
Thank you, madam. While listening to your class, I got some basic doubts. Because I get more anger means from where it is coming. I was just asking.
Hypothalamus, sir.
Hypothalamus, okay.
Yes, sir. And okay, children. Okay, and this is what the basic things I have explained. So many things are there to learn, children. Okay, so this is what human brain. And next one, we are going with how the coordination in plants. I told with help of nervous system, with our brain, body is coordinated, right? But how plants will coordination takes place? Plants have any brain, children? Children, plants have any brain? Answer me.
No, ma'am.
Plants do not have what is that? Brain. Then how does the coordination takes place in a plant? Okay. The two-way the coordination takes place. One is tropic movements. Another one is nastic movements. Make a note of it. Coordination in plants, which takes place by two-way. One is tropic movements and another one is nastic movements. Okay. So what is the tropic movements now? The plant which respond to particular stimulus, which is called as a tropic movements. Actually, it is called as directional movement. What is a directional movement? For example, I'll give you. If you see a plant, when you place a small seed, after some time, we could able to see the germination, right? When the plant germinate, the shoot part will grow up, the root part will go down. Okay. Shoot grow up, root go down. Okay. So later if you observe where the sunlight is available, in that direction only the shoot system will grow towards. Okay. So it respond to what is that? A stimulus of light. So this is called as phototrophism. And another example, if you see, root always respond to gravity. Our roots always respond to gravity. If you take a potted plant, place it horizontally, after 10 days, you just notice it. If you see from the shoot part, some of the parts will grow towards the sunlight. Some of the root parts which grow towards the soil only. So root always respond to the gravity. Shoot part always respond to the sunlight. The part which respond to the sunlight is called as phototrophism. The plant part which is respond to the, what is that? A soil, which is called as, that is a soil, that is gravity, which is called as, what is that? Geotrophism. And even if you observe some of the plants, hydrotrophism also we have. If you take a pot, you place some of the seed, nearby you just make a pot, pores should have a pot, small pores should have. If you pour water continuously, where the water will be available, through that direction only, the seeds will germinate. The root part will go towards the, what is that? The water available region. So this is called as hydrotrophism. And also plant will respond to the chemicals also. For example, chemotrophism we can call it as. For example, if you see a growth of pollen tube, okay, once the pollen grains reach to the stigma of the female body, the later the pollen tube will be formed. The pollen tube grow towards the ovary only. Why the pollen tube grow towards only the ovary? Na? The reason, there is a chemical is called sucrose is present. So it is called as, what is that? Chemotrophism. Hydrotrophism, chemotrophism, and also what is that? Phototrophism, geotrophism. And one more is thigmotrophism. Okay, in thigmotrophism, okay, some plants for a growth need a support. Can you give me an example? Which plant for a growth need a support? Can you give me an example? Plant needs support for the growth. At least support means either a fence or a stick or any wall or any rocks, like support it needed. Can you give me example? Can you give me example, children? Money plant, have you seen? We have money plant, right? And also, have you seen a pea plant? Pea plant, bitter gourd. These plant, if you see, it needs some support. Okay, to climb up. So this plants are comes under the thigmotrophism. Okay, so plant will coordinate by means of tropic movements, and another one means of nastic movements. So what is a nastic movements? Na? Nothing but when we non-directional movement. Nastic movements are also called as non-directional movement. For example, when you touch a touch me not plant, Mimosa pudica, when you touch, if you see within a minute, what happened? The leaves will be drooped down, right? Have you observed or not? Have you seen a Mimosa pudica plant?
Yes,
Have
ma'am.
you seen Mimosa pudica? When you touch, automatically the leaves will what happen? Droop down, right? What is the reason? When we touch the region at tip only, what will happen? The entire plant become what is that? Droop down. The reason is, okay, the cell, the water in the cell, which move from one leaf to another leaf. So this transmission is called as electrochemical communication. By means of electrochemical communication, the water which is moved from one cell to another cell and make a plant to droop down. Actually, it is a reversible. After some time, again the money plant can come back to the normal position only. Okay, va? So this is comes under the, what is that? Nastic movement. Any doubt, children? This is the way the plant will coordinate. Yes?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the coordination movements. Coordination, namma body la coordination is takes place with help of what is that? Nervous system, hormones. அதே மாதிரி plant body la coordination எப்படி நடக்குதுன்னா two way ல. One is tropic movements, இன்னொன்னு வந்து என்னது? Nastic movements. Tropic movements na respond to particular stimulus ல இருந்துச்சுன்னா it is tropic movements. Nastic movements na it is also respond to stimulus only, but it is a non-directional. But there it is a directional, it is a non-directional. Okay, na? Yes. And next one, hormones. Okay, hormones in our body we have. Even the same plant also will secrete some hormones. Apart from this coordination, plant will have 5 important hormones. One is auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, abscisic acid, ethylene. The fruits get ripened, right? Easily fruits are getting ripening, right? So normally it takes 5 to 10 days to ripen the fruits. Maximum 5 days it takes if you keep in your home. But in the market, in the large scale product producing people, they use one of the gas which is called as ethylene gas for ripening of fruits. So that is one of the plant hormone. And abscisic acid. Okay, the wilting of leaves. If you observe, sometimes the leaves get wilted, right? Fall down. Okay, so this wilting which is takes place with help of what is that? And it stops the cell divisions and all. So that is abscisic acid. These two are comes under the plant inhibitors. Plant inhibitors na suppress the work of the plant growth. And plant regulators or plant promoters we have. So the plant regulators are 3 types. One is auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin. Auxins are important for the tip of the plant grow. A root tip, shoot tip to elongate, we need auxin. Gibberellin also important for the elongation of plant only. That is especially in the branches. The branches elongation due to the gibberellin. Okay, that branches elongation is due to the gibberellin. Shoot and root tip elongation due to auxin. And cell division, and plant cell divide, no. So that is due to the cytokinin. Plant cell division is due to the cytokinin. So this is what 5 hormones. These 3 hormones are comes under the plant regulators or promoters. What are the hormones comes under the plant promoters? Any one of them? What are the hormones which is comes under the plant promoters? Children, are you there? Please respond. Plant hormones, totally 5 I told. In that 3 R comes under the promoter. What are they? Am I audible, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello? What are the hormone will comes under the promoter? If it is wrong also, no problem. You just try. That's all.
Auxin,
Very good.
gibberellin, cytokine.
Very good. Very good. These 3 comes under promoter. And suppressing that growth inhibitors, 2. What are they? What are the 2 hormones which comes under the growth inhibitors? One is
Ethylene.
Abscisic acid.
very good. Abscisic acid, and another one is ethylene. Very good. Very good, Amma. Okay. So these are the hormones. And we have animals hormones also. Okay. Okay. In hormones have different hormones we have in our body. Okay. First we'll see our brain. Pituitary gland we have. So the pituitary gland will secrete the hormone is growth hormone. In our body, pituitary gland will secrete the growth hormone. Because of this growth hormone, somatotrophic hormone we are saying, with help of this hormone only, okay, our height will be increased. Sometimes if you see the less secretion of hormone, if you see many short peoples everywhere, right? The reason is pituitary function is not proper. In that case, they will secrete very less hormones. In our body will secrete less hormone. Then the people become very short. So we can call it as a dwarfism, the people. Dwarfism. At the same time, when the excess secretion, you could able to see the growth is more in some people. That is gigantism. That is called as gigantism. The growth will be more. Understood? So this is the dwarfism and gigantism when the growth hormones are not properly secreted. Okay. And our master of gland is pituitary. Master of pituitary is hypothalamus. Make a note of it. All hormones, endocrine glands in our body which is controlled by pituitary gland. But a pituitary gland is controlled by our body. That is hypothalamus. So the master of pituitary is hypothalamus. That is one of the question, Amma. Okay. And the next to the head we have in our neck region we have one of the gland. What is the gland? What
Thyroid
gland? Thyroid gland. Very good. We have a thyroid gland in our neck. So this thyroid gland will secrete the hormone is called as thyroxine. Actually, this thyroid gland is called as personality hormone. Okay. So generally we say, okay, is personality is good. Okay. But it is was maintained by our thyroid gland only. Because when it is excess secretion and less secretion, it causes damage. It will affect our carbohydrate fat metabolism in our body. When the carbohydrate fat metabolism disturbed, either the people become very fat, the body will increase the weight, or it will become very thin. If it is heavy weight also, we can't able to see the person. If it is less weight also, the person looks are not good, right? Am I right? Yes. For the main reason, we are used to think, yes, many people will, I think many people will very fat. We are thinking, right? Okay, he or she is eating more food like that. Minds we are thinking, but the reason is the hormone secretion only. It is not proper balanced. Got it? Okay. So when the thyroid gland protrude out, we will get a disease. What is that disease? Goiter. So thyroid gland will secrete the hormone is called as thyroxine. If the thyroxine hormone is not secrete properly, if it is less secrete, our thyroid gland will protrude out. So this is called as, what is that? Goiter. In Tamil we can say as munkazhuthu kalalai. Okay, so to protect, we need to add proper iodine in our diet. Am I clear? Iodine we should take in a proper amount in our diet, because our iodine level is reduced in our blood, the thyroxine hormone will be reduced. Thyroxine hormone is reduced in our body, our thyroid gland will protrude out. It will bulge out. Then it will become, what is that? A goiter disease will cause. So we need to take a proper diet in our iodine is the main diet you have to add. Okay. And from the thyroid gland, next gland we have, what is that? We have a pituitary gland, thyroid gland we discussed. Next we have, what is that? Above the kidney we have a adrenal gland. Above the kidney, both kidney we have. Over the two kidney we have a adrenal gland. That is called emergency hormone. Okay, emergency hormone or fight, flight, fright hormone. For example, if you are facing a dog, the dog is coming to bite your people. It's come to bite. So what we have to do, either we should stand and fight, otherwise we have to run away. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes,
In
ma'am.
that emergency situation, our body will act and body will, the particular situation our body will handle it na. That is because of, what is that? Adrenal gland only. Okay, so the adrenal gland will secrete adrenaline hormone. Adrenaline hormone. When the emergency situation comes, it will pump the blood more to our heart and our skeletal muscles to run away. Okay, what it will do when the emergency situation happen? Adrenal gland will secrete adrenaline hormone. The adrenaline hormone which pump the more blood to our heart and our skeletal muscles, because we need to run. Okay, more oxygen supply we need to our heart to handle the situation, right? So the adrenal gland will support the, what is that? Our emergency situation, na? That is adrenal gland. Okay, and the next one, thymus gland we have in our heart. In our chest cavity we have, what is that? Thymus gland. Okay, so this which is important for, what is that? Pumping of heart, that is support thymus gland. And what is the next gland we missed out? Insulin. Diabetes. Nowadays, every house, if you see, there is one diabetes, right? Am I right? Am I right or wrong?
Yes,
Do you know
ma'am.
what is the reason? Yes, the reason is we have a what gland? Pancreas. Okay, we have a pancreas below our stomach. The pancreas which secrete the, what is that? Actually, pancreas is called as a mixed gland, because it can act as a, what is that? Endocrine, and also it can act as, what is that? Exocrine gland. Okay, so when exocrine gland enna, it will secrete the enzymes for the digestion. Why it is called endocrine gland na? It secretes the hormone for the, what is that? To function of our body. So the what hormone it will secrete na? Insulin. Okay, so when the insulin level properly secreted in our body, it will maintain our blood sugar level. Maintain our blood sugar level. When the level of insulin is decreased in our body, our sugar level get increased, our blood sugar level get increased, so that only which is lead to, what is that? Diabetes, which is called as diabetes mellitus. Okay, diabetes mellitus. What is diabetes mellitus na? What is that? When the insulin level secreted less, we can't maintain our blood sugar level. Okay, so it is called diabetes mellitus. We have one more word also, diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus na, our kidney, if it is not do function properly, more glucose we could able to see in our urine. Okay, glucose actually excretory system, that is kidney absorb all the glucose. When it is not function properly, more glucose which is present in our urine. So in this condition is called as, what is that? Diabetes insipidus. Got it, children? Yes. And
Yes,
so this is
ma'am.
the, what is that? A pancreas. So secrete insulin to maintain the blood sugar level. So the next thing we have the one more gland, reproductive glands. One is testosterone and another one is, what is that? Estrogen. The testosterone is the male hormone, estrogen is the female hormone. The secondary sexual character in male. What are the secondary sexual character? Okay, you are getting na beard, okay, mustache, everything you will get it right. So these all comes under the secondary sexual character, which is controlled by the testosterone. And secondary sexual character in the female, like a menstrual cycle, okay, the breast development, these all comes under the, what is that? A secondary sexual character in the female. That is both are comes under the, what is that? A reproductive glands. Gonads also we can use the word. Understood, children? And also testosterone will produce the, what is that? Sperm, and estrogen will produce the egg. Okay, so this is what about the basic thing you want to know in the biology. Am I right, children? Is it clear? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. And the next thing is reproduction. What do you mean by reproduction? What do you mean by reproduction? What do you mean by reproduction, children?
The younger ones, children.
Yes, sir. The ability or capacity of organism to produce their young ones is called as, what is that? Reproduction. Okay. So already I told reproduction is not comes under life process, but we need in our life for what? Continuation. Perpetuation. We can say perpetuation, that a proper terminology in biology we can use it. Okay, for that purpose only we need a reproduction or replace the dead organism. To form the new organism only we need reproduction. There are two types of reproduction we have. One is sexual and another one is the asexual reproduction, right? Okay, and asexual reproduction, it takes place with help of two gametes. Asexual reproduction, only single parent is involved. So in asexual reproduction, whatever the new organisms are formed, everything which is similar to the parent. In asexual reproduction, all the new organisms are similar to the parent. Why the new organisms are similar to the parent? Because only single parent is involved. Okay, only single parent is involved. There is no gamete fusion. So what are the organism is formed? There is no variation. There is no variation. All are similar like a parent. But in sexually reproducing organism, two parents are involved. Okay, two parents are involved. Each parent will share the 23 chromosome. So 23 chromosomes are re-established to form, what is that? A 46 chromosomes. Okay, the newly formed organism have a 23 chromosome from father, 23 chromosome from mother. So total 46 chromosome, okay, recombine to form, what is that? A zygote will be formed. So we could able to see more variation in the sexually reproducing organism. So among these two, which is beneficial in the environment? The sexually reproducing organism are benefited because they have a more variation. They can able to withstand, what is that? Different environmental condition. Got it? So sexually organism only able to withstand because of, what is that? More variation you could able to see in that. Got it? So this is what about the what? Sexual and asexual. In asexual reproduction, generally which takes place in the simple body design organisms. Okay, we have a different process. One is the fission. Fission means nothing. The organism divided into two or more. If the organism divided into two, which is called binary fission. If the organism divided into more than two, then it is called multiple fission. Example, binary fission in amoeba. Multiple fission, we could be able to see mosquitoes or comes under the, what is that? Plasmodium we can see, which is comes under the multiple fission. Got it? Next one is fragmentation. Generally, it is takes place in the water living plant. That is especially in the tissue level of organization. Spirogyra is a plant. Okay, Spirogyra, when it is upon to mature, what happened? The body parts will be divided into 2, 3, 4. Okay, each part is called as a fragment. Later, each fragment will develop into, what is that? Young ones. Each fragment will develop into young ones. Okay, so this is called as the fragmentation. The next thing we have, what is that? Regeneration. Have you observed in your house, the lizard will cut the tail. If any dangerous, any condition, it lost the tail. After some time, again the tail will be redeveloped. Have you observed or not? Have you noticed or not lizard in your house? Yes or no?
Yes,
Have
ma'am.
you observed? lizard வந்து tail கட் ஆயிரும். கொஞ்ச நாளைக்கு அப்புறம் பார்த்தோம்னா அந்த tail grow ஆயிருக்கும். Okay, so this is the lizard which is comes under the regeneration. Okay, fully differentiated organism, ability to form what is that? The damaged parts. Fully differentiated organism, ability to form damaged parts. Actually, the regeneration, still there is a confusion. Either we should keep under the reproduction or not. Because if you observe, maximum organisms are not depend on being cut. எல்லா ஆர்கானிசமும் கட்டை டிபெண்ட் பண்ணி கிடையாது. தட் இஸ் த ரீசன் ரீஜெனரேஷன் ஸ்டில் நாட் டிசைடட் எய்தர் இட் இஸ் அ reproduction or not. Okay, so first binary fission, dividing organism to multiple fission, organism divided into more than two is plasmodium, 2 is amoeba and paramecium also. Fragmentation, when the organism get mature, the body parts will be divided into 2-3 and each one is called as fragment, later which is grow into new individuals. Okay, and when it is comes under the regeneration, the fully matured organism ability to what is that? Form the last body parts. Tail, the formation of tail. From the tail, the body parts will be not formed. But from the body part, what is that? The tail will be formed. The reason we have a regenerative cells in the body. Okay, with help of specialized cell, maximum in board question, all question, if you see the 10th standard point of view, they've asked questions. Okay, so the specialized cell, with help of the specialized cell, it is present only in the particular organism only. In our body also, we have one of the organ will able to regenerate. Can you name that? Which organ can able to regenerate? Organ. What? Can you tell me which organ are able to regenerate? Our liver. Our liver is there, no? It can able to regenerate. Got it? Yes. And the next one is in asexual reproduction, the vegetative propagation we have. The vegetative propagation, the organism is formed from the vegetative part of the plant. If you observe, from the root, we are getting new organisms. From the stem, we are getting new organism. Okay, for example, the potato, it's a modified stem. Okay, and ginger is a modified stem. Okay, and beetroot, carrot, turnip, if you see, it is modified root. Okay, and leaves are example of bryophyllum. Okay, so each part will formed from the root and stem parts, that's it. That is called as vegetative propagation. Okay, so new organisms are formed from the vegetative part of the plant, root, stem, leaf, which is called as vegetative propagation. Okay, so under this only we will use to study about tissue culture also comes under the vegetative propagation only. It is also called as micro propagation. We used to culture in laboratory. We have to take an explant, we need to culture in the where? Laboratory. So explant we need to take, we need to culture in laboratory. We have to place in the hormonal medium, nutrient medium. When we place hormonal nutrient medium, callus is formed. Later the callus which is formed, the what is that? New one. Later what they will do? The people will transplant to the soil. So this is called tissue culture. This also comes under the what is that? In a vegetative propagation only. Got it? Got a clarity? Yes. So these all are comes under the and budding. If you see bryophyllum, okay, கட்டி போட்டால் குட்டி போடும் சொல்லுவாங்க தமிழ்ல. The bryophyllum, if you see, each a leaf margin, you could be able to see small buds. Okay, each notches. Later the buds will be divide and it will fall down and it is grow into the new individuals. That is the bryophyllum, budding. And also when we see budding, we can go with what is that? Yeast. Okay, budding we can go with yeast. Bryophyllum, buds are formed. It is buds, we can say plantlet also we can say. It's not considered budding. Plantlets are formed at the notches. Later it is detached from the parent which is grow into new individuals. And also we have a budding also comes under asexual reproduction. For example, yeast. Okay, you just take a yeast powder. In the bakery, they are using yeast powder, right? Okay, if they add a small drop inside the water, after sometimes the multiples of yeast will be formed. So that is the reason with help of yeast only, we are getting that puffness in the cake and bread and all. We have that puffness, right? That is due to the yeast powder only, because it will more produce the carbon dioxide gas. That is the reason we are getting that structure. Okay, and yeast one of the example, and also hydra also one of the example for budding only. Okay, hydra. Okay, when small buds are formed, these buds are due to repeated cell division. These buds are due to cell division. Later, the buds grow in a parent only until it get maturation. It will be in a parent. Later, it is detached from the parent and it is grow into the new individuals. So this is called as, what is that? Budding. So budding, fragmentation, regeneration, tissue culture, vegetative propagation. Okay, these all are comes under the, what is that? Asexual reproduction. In sexually reproducing organism, we have, what is that? Male and female gametes. Male and female gametes. Okay, so the male gametes will produce sperm. The female gametes will produce egg. So male and female gametes, when it is fused together, we will get, what is that? Zygote. The zygote which is developed into, what is that? A new individual. So this is the thing, it takes place in the where? In sexually reproducing organisms. Any doubt? Any doubt? In a male reproductive system, when we are discussing, we have a testis, and testis which produce the what? Sperm. Okay, and also hormone testosterone. Okay, once the testis sperm is produced, from the testis which is carried to urethra with the help of the, what is that? Vas deferens. Okay, when it is traveling, okay, the sperm which is converted into semen. Okay, there is a gland is present in a vas difference. That difference, that it will secrete the nourishment. It will make a sperm into semen. Later it will come to urethra. Urethra is a common passage which carry both the urine and also, what is that? Sperm, but both will not carry at the same time. Okay, and from the urethra it will reach to the penis. From the penis it will released out. And the same time, when we discuss about female reproductive parts, we have a pair of ovaries. Every month, when a girl child born, we have a thousands of eggs are produced. But when she attained the maturity, every month one egg is released from the both ovary alternatively. 1 month one egg is produced, another month another one ovary will be produced. And also egg, and also it will produce the estrogen hormone. Once the egg is released, with the help of the fallopian tube, it will carry to the uterus. Okay, the fallopian tube, the part where in a female body the fertilization takes place, that is in the fallopian tube only. Okay, and once the fallopian tube fertilization done, okay, and next process is next to the uterus. We have uterus is a womb. We can call it as womb. Here the growth and development of baby will be takes place. Okay, when the male sperm which is enter, both fused, zygote is formed. Zygote is formed. It is implanted in the uterus. Okay, the implantation, once it is done, okay, in opposite side we will get a, for nourishment purpose, placenta. So it will grow continuously. If there is no fertilization takes place in the fallopian tube, the egg will come back to the uterus and it will break down. Nearly 1 day, 24 hours, it will be stay in the uterus, and the egg will be break down. Along with the egg, every month to receive the zygote, uterus will be prepare itself. It will become very thick and spongy to receive the, what is that? Zygote. But if it is fertilization done, implantation happen. If a fertilization not done, egg uterus wall become breakdown and it is released as, what is that? Blood along with mucus. This process is called as, what is that? Menstrual cycle. Okay, once in the 25 to 28 days it will takes place. In female body, 14 day, 10 to 14 day ovary produce the egg. It is important question. The 14th day maximum the egg is produced. Okay, so this is what about the sexual reproduction in the male and female. Sir, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sir,
Yeah, thank you. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir. We'll wind up, sir.
Yeah, we can wind up. Thank you, madam. I think it
Okay,
shows.
sir. Okay.
I think all our students will support me in saying that madam has got a wealth of knowledge. You know the kind of flow she has got, the kind of information she gives. The entire 10th standard she was able to bring in front of us, in 1 hour's time. That was
Yes,
excellent.
yes, sir. The
Probably,
only one important lesson we have that next class I'll give an
yeah,
introduction. That is a genetics, sir. That is
okay.
important one in DNA about. That alone I will explain the next class. I'll go with the 11th syllabus.
Yeah. So she will take one more class on 10th syllabus, and once she finishes, she'll go with 11th syllabus with PPT and other materials. There'll be display of those
Yeah.
materials that will be there.
Ah,
But I would strongly recommend to our students make use of this class and the kind of knowledge they have. And when they start the 11th syllabus, they will give you what kind of neat questions are coming came in the last couple of years. Such input also will be given. And in the NEET, out of 720 marks, 360 marks is for biology. Half the
mm,
mark is for biology, easy to score also. But unfortunately, many of my old students have failed to score for reason that these small details which she's talking, she's telling so many things in one. This much of knowledge you should have while going for NEET exam. Plenty of information. Maybe you can call it as mugging up those information or reading it many times. You will automatically you will understand. So these are something which you need, in your this thing. Be prepared for a long innings for the next 2 years to appear for the NEET, because NEET is a very competitive exam. And I'll tell you, many of our students and parents have said if we go out for these classes, minimum they have to spend around 60,000 rupees. This is what I heard
yeah.
from so many students in the last so many years. So that is the reason why we wanted to give a free class for all our students and give as much weightage will be given. Only problem we have is it is online. It has got its own challenge. Number one. Number two, that we can be broken out by if you interact with madam or any teacher, that will be better. Secondly,
Okay,
we
sir.
have only one class per week per subject, which is not enough, I know. But then we will increase when we approach the exams, we will be having one more class that also will be there. And you need to
Okay.
put a lot of work at home also. Because these are something which we will be talking about it again and again. Some of our students who have passed, their videos are there in our YouTube, and you can just go through 2 3 minutes video and how they are able to crack that exam. I think 3 or 4 videos are there. Just say, IIM student NEET cracked or something like that. You will get in. And we have in our YouTube channel 2,500 videos. All our classes are copied and put in. Like this class, it will be there in our YouTube tomorrow. Whatever she has taken will be there. So in case somebody wants to see or somebody misses a class, they can go through it. And the good students have made use of it, and they have come up with fine colors. I thank once again Madam Manimala for her support
Thank
to us, and for our cause. She will continue to support us, and I thank all the students also. Thank you, Madam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.